Going to conclude the NovaCat. Congrats to that gentleman who won.
Yes, indeed. Now we are moving on to the Nightstar, and we have been informed that there will be some changes to the Nightstar arms, but full details we don't know. I was also told that there will be a post today going up about what changes are happening. I'm assuming with the Nightstar and the possibly the NovaCat. Anyway, we're doing a giveaway. Hashtag Nightstar right now for your chance to win a Nightstar pack. Good luck, Mech Warriors.
So, for those that don't know, the Nightstar may seem a bit familiar, and you just might not be able to place it. A little bit of lore for you guys. The Nightstar was developed around the Marauder chassis. In Battletech lore, commanders would take the Marauder, but were being singled out, so they needed more armor and protection to be able to sustain combat. So,
I would like to point out one thing about the Nightstar. Like, again, here's a big kudos to Alex Iglesias. The TRO artwork
is pretty, yeah.
It is one of the worst ever. That's the only thing I remember about the Nightstar is looking at that original artwork and thinking, what the hell? Like, it was so bad.
All right.
The fact that he was able to make a badass looking mech from that, kudos again to you, Alex.
So a little bit of lore again is where the Nightstar came from. It is a Marauder on steroids. I do believe again the arms, as far as what you were talking about, there will be a post, but I can go on a limb and say I think it has to do with the arms coming down at an angle instead of coming right out to the side. Very similar to how the Mark II's arms are as well. I think that is the change that I sort of read out there. So we're going to start with the 10P. And let's go ahead and dive in here. But first off, if this thing's facing you, you're going to catch some rounds. Pretty much once those arms are up as well, Darren, almost all the hard points are cockpit level. So if you can see, you can hit it. This is actually one thing that I think it has like above the King Crab. The King Crab has those knuckle draggers, right? If you have anything in your way, you tend to hit dirt or whatever. It's able to shoot over defilades. So if you have something like right below, you're able to clear it. And 95 tonner coming in here. Some things to note, and this is why I'm starting with the 10P, is this is an ECM capable 95 tonner. Just let that sink in for a second. It's all fun and games, so you get surprised, Atlas, DDC rolling up on you. This is a 95 tonner that is ECM capable. And I think that's going to help this. You can do multiple things here. Obviously, you got the UAC 5s and the UAC 2s here. High mounts on the torso mount on the energy, and you also have an energy in the head location as well. It's right below the chin as well. 1 second, guys.
This is 95 tons.
Right.
Big baby.
All right, so let's go ahead and take a gander here. Max engine size 345. I do think light engine is going to be the go-to. Also keep in mind, out of all of the stock setups, I believe this is the only Nightstar with a light engine, and then the Hero has a standard. All the others have XLs. I'm going to go out on limb and say, as a player, I don't think XLs are going to be something you want to run, and that's probably going to be something that'll change. So 345, this one comes stock with a 385, but a 345. Another thing you're going to probably switch out to is instead of light Pharaoh, you're probably going to drop that, and you're going to take Indo instead. The reason being is same amount of crit slots, but you gain more tonnage. As you can see, negative 4.5 compared to like Pharaoh, which is negative 0.9, and light that is so it's just not worth it. So from a Indo, you may potentially switch to light if Indo is taking up too many crits. Some things to note here, of course, UAC 5s, you can only mount one on each arm. That is something that's a little bit different than the King Crab. King Crab is able to mount the 2 5s in each arm with the, you know, the rotary saw, if you will. Now, technically, you can do 2 5s in each arm. And this goes 58.8 kph without speed tweak as well. So you could do 4 5s in each arm. Let's see here. You could technically do, I'm going to say Gauss rifle, of course, with AC2, but I highly doubt anybody would do that. You can do dual Gauss with ER large in the right torso. Now, you are limited because IS are 2 crits for the ER large. So you wouldn't be able to do 2 ER large, but you could do like a heavy peep. Now, keep in mind, if you fire all 3 of these, you're going to get a heat spike with a peep, but just a slight, you can also do a large pulse and then not have to worry about that as well. This gives you some options here. I think you can definitely do racks, 2 racks in the arms, plus a backup of AC2. Again, going on a limb, I think a combination like an AC5 plus I think you're this is tough. This is gonna be one of those where I don't know if sustained with no jam chance is better. And if we look at the quirks really quick, it just gets base structure, nothing crazy on this. Yeah, reality, of course they do. That's up to that individual though. So I don't know if you do dual Gauss and dual AC2. Of course, you can't do LB20, you can't do the UAC-10, you can't do the heavy Gauss. Now, for me, I would probably end up going with the quad AC5. I think that just sort of shines out to me. I'd probably just do 2 ER medium. Just a simple sort of setup, lots of ammo. It's going to be pretty heat neutral. And this is max armored all the way, so I don't really have to worry about that as well. 5 tons of ammo, plus what you have in the skill tree. And just for, you know, sake here, you can toss out. You probably want to... Don't know how much of the armor you'd want to strip from the head. This is just testing purposes. Probably take like two double heat sinks. Call it a day. That's probably what I would settle on for this setup. Just something simple. And like Darren was saying, there's a post coming about the Nightstar's adjustments to the arms. More than likely, they're going to be probably more along this line right here, along the horizontal line near the cockpit. All right.
Can you give me a side profile real quick?
Yeah. It's very reminiscent of, like, especially the legs remind me of the king crab, and the torso reminds me of the marauder.
Yeah.
Slash Marauder 2C almost. It's got that sort of, you know, alien sort of queen head thing going on, just like the
Yeah, so as far as I know, it's just the change is going to be moving the arms up, but if there's any other changes, I'm sure they'll be detailed in a post.
And, you know, with the arms moved up, not only does that help with the ballistics or any weapons in the arms, but also it's going to mean that the side torso is a bit more protected and the arms may take a bit more hit from the side as well. All right, so let me go and save this. So this is probably what I'd lean on with the 5P. Now, I'm gonna say this. This is with the max engine of 345. You can do XL in this. Me personally, I don't like running assaults with XLs. IS assaults either a standard or light, in my opinion. And then you have the Guardian ECM. This is pretty big. Now, that will mean you will want to invest 13 nodes into ECM. So that is something to sort of, you know, take a moment on. It's going to require 13 nodes. Now, for those that may not understand why this is important, any ECM capable mech, if you do not invest those 13 nodes, you can be locked on at like 540 meters. That's bad juju if you're in an ECM mech. So if you did not know that, if you pick up these 2 nodes right here, that will reduce that to around 200 meters. Now, if a mech has more sensor skills and BAP and stuff like that, that range will be decreased. But in general, it's highly important. If you have ECM, take those 13 nodes. If you have ECM and you don't, you're better off just not even taking the ECM and wasting that ton and a half. So there's that as well. You could technically do stealth Goss, stealth armor. You could do that. That is an option. You could do dual Goss and like something else. I don't think it'd work really well on this. So, all right, so let's go ahead and save this as well. Move on to the next one. All right. Let's move on to the 9FC. Man, I'm gonna have to get used to the new acronyms for, I'm like, not NSR, what is that?
Mm-hmm.
All right, the 9FC, let's go ahead and jump in here. A little bit different, 2 less ballistic in the arms, but followed up by 2 energy that weren't here previously. Base quirks, same thing, structure. Now, keep in mind, it's pretty big structure buffs here in the CT, left to right torso. That's 23 extra CT, right? So that's how many extra medium laser hits, you know? I mean, that's quite a bit bonus there. And of course, you know, left right torso, that's bonus. Anyways, just want to point that out. Man, what could I see here? I could see this happening right here, Darren. I could see, actually, this is probably what I'd go to, just because. Yeah. Now this one has a max engine size of 400 and also endo. Let's go ahead and do that. Not quite able to pull it, but let's just say 345 was the last one, 360. I put it on speed with, yeah, I think that would be pretty solid. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, you could probably get away with that. Maybe a little bit slower just for a few extra doubles. You could put on 1, yeah, something like that. I could see potentially happen. Fix that. So 5 ER mediums, dual Goss. Yeah, you could definitely instead take large lasers or ER large in the left or the right torso. But again, once these, with the changes to the arms, it'll pretty much centralize all weapons to cockpit level. That gives you a 55 alpha, right? At, what is that? 400 plus 360 optimal plus the range buffs you'd get for the nodes, probably around, 400. Of course, you could drop the ER these and take a slower engine and take something like Peeps or Large Pulse or something to that effect as well. You don't necessarily have to utilize all the omnipods. I'm just showcasing what you could do with all the omnipods here. So again, builds may vary slightly. And speaking of which, this is a very similar build. 2 ballistic, 6 energy. Now, the 9J has 6 energy hard points, but requires you to, if you are going to take this, you couldn't use Gauss rifles and arms. And the reason being is it takes up too many crit slots. So if you were to do, or wanting to do, the 6 energy, you have to remove the Gauss rifle. Now, this does have extra armor to the left and right arm, +8, along with base armor to the CT. So this is a little bit different than the other two that got structure buffs. This gets armor buffs to the arms, CT, left to right, and torso. That's pretty big as well. So heavy PPCs, you could definitely do 1 in each arm. Actually, you know, I'd almost, even though I do like, well, you could potentially do 2 heavy peeps, right side heavy, back up with like 4 mediums plus whatever, or even medium pulse. Max engine of 345. Plenty of options here. And of course you can supplement with another type of weapon system, UAC 5 or something in the arms. I think 9J6. Yeah, this has the most energy out of all. This is the energy boat, if you will. You could do triple large pulse, and again go into 1 in each. Technically you could do this with medium pulse as well. Triple large pulse feels pretty good as well. Then a backup of potentially you could do, I don't know, you may want to just stick to just double heat sinks in this case. I don't know if you'd have enough crits, but we could try. Yeah, we may have to drop down to that. That would give us the ability to take 1 extra double. Yeah. And then you could take a target mark 1. You could probably take target mark 2. Just drop if you gets armor off the legs here. Something like that. But for a 95 tonner, I don't know if that's what you'd want to do. Again, I feel like, is that enough hard hitting? 1, to get all your firepower out, you'd have to be facing the entire mech, right? Have the entire mech exposed. I'm not sold on that. I'm not sold on this build. I would definitely have to put more time into it. I feel like the right side, right? This would be a better right side build with a supplemental, you know, or whatever. So in this case, you may want to just put the dual large pulse or triple large pulse all on the right arm, right torso. Something like this. This way you can right side poke. Now, there's a trade-off there. You right side poke, the arms are quite wide out here. You lose your right torso, you lose all that. But I don't know if that's a better setup than like the Banshee, right? The Banshee it's very narrow, right? It's able to just poke out a little. This one, you have to expose yourself a lot more like the King Crab. So I'm not quite sold on that. I'll have to... Sorry, my wife is insane. All right, let me take a quick look. And of course, you got the 9J special. This is what the camo pattern looks like. It's like a Van Gogh. She married you, didn't she? Yep. Anyways, so this is the exact same hard points.
There's the link for those of you looking for the energy weapon patch update in chat. Also, don't forget we're giving away a Nightstar pack right now. Hashtag Nightstar in chat.
All right. I think this is pretty much. All right, so. Okay, that has no. Okay, gotcha. I want to make sure we're good to go. All right, 9P. All right. So Darren, this is where things change a little bit when it comes to the Nightstar that I think a lot of people are excited for. And this is also why it has an XL engine. The 9P is very similar, what I would call, to the Annihilator, which has torso, ballistics. And this is also why I think, in some ways, the Nightstar is going to be better than the King Crab. You can do your heavy Gauss, as you can in the Annihilator. Now, granted, you are limited to a, standard engine. That's not really a problem if we're really honest with ourselves, right? With that as well, you can do, here's the placements. Note to mind, the second ballistic is on the chin. It is not symmetrical on both sides.
Yeah, some people having problems with that. Personally, I mean, I get the symmetry thing. I do have OCD as well. But I'm all right with it. I think there's a canon explanation for it.
I think from a gameplay perspective, I can understand a little bit of disappointment. So
Sure.
I can definitely understand if it causes enough, ruckus to say why wouldn't it be equal? The rest of the mech is symmetrical and stuff like that. But that being said, I don't know how big of a difference. Obviously, your viewpoint is right here. I don't know how much of a difference. That's something where I'll have to play as is, but that is something to consider. You can see it, you can hit it with the right.
It does give you better visibility out of the left side of your car.
Right. So there is that. So just to be clear, another thing, what's interesting with something like this is that it gives you the ability to do a light engine, but with this instead. Where are you, my darlings? Yes. Yes. And this is something that I feel can be quite entertaining, which is dual 20s as well, with a backup of energy in the arms, or
that is nice.
Even another AC-10 in the right arm. Now, of course, you could technically do 410s, and this is very similar to what? The Annihilator. What you can or can't do. Now, just like the Annihilator, it doesn't really make... Well, the Annihilator can do it a little bit better just because it has a little bit more tonnage for that fourth. But even the Annihilator, the setup I found with the AC-30, which is to go right side heavy, and that allows you to, tonnage-wise, be a little bit better. Another thing to note on this is it gets base structure, CT, and missile cooldown. If you do run this, SRM6 or whatever you do run, does get a bonus of a bit extra cooldown. That is, as far as the last one we just did, the 9J, the 9FC, and the 10P, I feel like the 9P is the one that's gonna hurt the most, just because it has so many options. You can do a HAG, heavy assault, heavy Gauss rifle, not a HAG, heavy Gauss rifle plus other. You technically don't have to do dual, you know, you could technically do one and with backup. And really, you name it, you can do it. I actually don't think that's viable, but yeah. So anyways, I feel like this is going to be the Nightstar that wrecks people's faces, just because of what it's able to bring ballistic wise. And we see that with the Annihilator. When you face the Annihilator, not only is it tanky, but it's throwing so much damage at you. With this, I feel like the damage is going to be thrown, you know, at you as well.
I do think it's going to adopt the name the Boomstar.
Yeah. Of course, you can do the. I mean, you can do things with this. I think you have to. Yeah, actually, never mind. I was gonna say you could do quad Gauss, but I don't think you can. No. You could do triple Gauss. Or you could do dual Gauss and something. Again, light engine. I don't like XLs.
Doomstar? Doomstar over Boomstar? That's fine. Doomstar sounds something like Star Wars.
I will say though, running those the dual heavy Gauss, man, feels good, man. Like when you hit someone with them,
doesn't feel good when you're getting hit by them.
Oh my gosh!
You hear that sound and like half your mech is gone. What happened?
Quad light Gauss. I'm not sold on light Gauss. Like for the tonnage, it's 12 tons. 12 tons. I mean, you know, throwing out 8 damage. I don't know. I don't know. Haven't really. I mean, that's a pretty heavy ballistic. Like, I don't know. But technically you can do it, yes. All right, so as far as the Nightstars go, I think this is going to be the one that's the punishing one. I could see the...
Ooh, and it's a P variant, right? That
Yes.
stands for punishing.
Yeah, see what I did there? I feel like the 9J is going to be, obviously it's the most tanky and, you know, energy laden, but the 9P I feel like is going to be the one that's putting a hurt on people just because of the hard points. And like I said, it does things that like the King Crab can't do, right? Where the King Crab, all of its ballistics are in the torso or arms. This has arms plus torso. And of course, higher mounts. You can do AC-20s now with a LFE. And that's a big bonus to IS heavies and assaults as well. All right, we've got the 9S. So very similar to the 9FC. This has 2 ballistic and 4 energy. A little bit different in being that left, right, torso, and head location with the energy. As you can see here, you are going to be limited to what you can do with the CT and the head energy hardpoint. This particular this particular variant comes with a XL engine. Again, can't recommend XLs. Bad juju. But one thing to note that this has that the others don't. Do you know what it is, Darren?
I don't know what it is.
Look at the arms.
I love it when you put me on the spot.
It doesn't have lower arm actuators.
Ah.
So just to sort of point that out really quick.
Doesn't have truck nuts,
Lower
that's right.
Lower in hand. Lower in hand.
Which means you can throw those racks in there.
Well, you can do the UAC 20s.
Right.
Now, unfortunately, you can't do LB 20s. but you can do the UAC-20s. So that's really, as far as like, that's the one ballistic that makes a difference to where you can do. And of course you could see that, you know, you can do medium pulse on this if you want. God, that would hit like a brick. So there's this. So there are options. 345 is max engine. That gives you 5 tons to technically play with if you didn't do any heat sinks really. But really that's the main difference I would say between this, the 9S. It also gets a ballistic cooldown of -10, guys. So that's another bonus to this, plus the structure. So yeah. Also, that's really what separates it from like the 9FC. The 9FC has that 5th energy. This has 4, but the difference being is it's not in the arms, and also it's able to take UAC-20s, whereas the others can't do UAC-20s. So really, if you want to take UAC-20s, this is the mech to do it. Also, that -10 to ballistic cooldown. Now, that also means you can do dual Gauss on this, which is actually better. You can technically do dual Gauss and ER larges or large pulse on the mounts here. Now, if you notice here, the torso mount is above the cockpit. So in my opinion, instead of taking the cockpit like ER medium, right, which is below, the large pulse in the CT is above. So that's what I would do. So dual large pulse.
Well, that's very interesting, isn't it?
Yeah. Again, you do run into just tonnage, so you have to sacrifice engine size to be able to fit some ammo. But it is possible with a light engine. Here are the PPC locations. And of course you could do snubs. And just like I was pointing out on the last, which is the left torso ballistic, the left torso energy also suffers from being low mount as well. So it's not symmetrical. So there's that. So keep that in mind. So that is the main difference as far as if you're wanting to do UAC-20 builds. This is at least on the arms, I should say, not the last one, which is definitely possible. You can do UAC-20s on the P, on the torsos. But if you're wanting them on the arms, this is the only mech that can do that in the Nightstar category. And also, it does have a -10 to ballistic. So you could put 20s on here and get that buff of 10%, or Gauss, or any other ballistic weapon, and you're getting the buff of 10% cooldown on that. And that's stacks on top, of course, what you get in the skill tree. So plenty of options there. I think this would be like, I think most people would go towards this for the UAC-20 or AC-20s or dual Gauss. I could definitely see that. Just that 10% boost, it does a little bit. Every little bit counts, right? All right, we're going to move on to the hero at said point in time. And this is the Wolf Phoenix. Now, this takes a complete shift. No ballistics. Just energy and missile. Let's go take a quick look at the hard points. Very symmetrical. Obviously, you can see here, whereas before these geometry was just sort of blank, now that's where the missiles mount. So high mounts on the missiles. That's a few things. One, if you're taking SRMs, you have the clearance to be able to get over stuff. First thing that pops in my head is, Darren, is 4 SRM4s. But let me go ahead and put 20s on here just so people can see what it looks like because of reasons. There you guys go.
All the OCD people can breathe for a few moments with the symmetry.
Phil, you're making LRMs worse.
Yeah, you're bringing LRMs back to the game, Phil, single-handedly.
Yeah. You know, it's all me.
That's a lot of missiles.
All right. The first thing that pops in my head is like an SRM6 engine, a light 345, and something like just, I mean, you're already sort of going brawl with this. Just roll with the punches. I'd say probably something like this. Probably not. I probably wouldn't want to do quad peeps just because of the heat issues there, but this is probably what I would be looking at.
Can you do 4 MRM40s?
No.
Like, why would you?
No, you can only do 2 because they're per.
Yeah.
Hold on. One sec. Can you? Before I open my mouth. No, you can't because you're running crits. You only have 12 crits, right? So, yeah, no. I was like, what? All right, light, ammo, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then of course doubles, 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 and this is where it gets a little bit weird. Because you just sort of run out of... Don't know if we'd be able to do that. Light. Yeah, that's not good. Instead, you could do 4s. I'll give you a few more crits. I think that might end up better. Or even... no, I'd probably... Yeah, you could pull that right there. Part of me says 6s. I mean, if you're gonna go for the punch, go for the 6s anyway. So that's basically what I'm looking at if I was to do this. You also have MRMs as well that you could toss out there. MRMs, ER mediums, ER large pulse in the arms. But this is the most symmetrical of all the Nightstars. Also no ballistic. I get a, I don't know why, but I get a Merrick vibe from this camo pattern. Like the purple, I don't know why, it just pops in my head. Needs more missiles. Right, that's what I was thinking is, like, if you were to do something, I could see MRMs being used here. You do 30s. I don't know if you'd want to, but you could. Gosh.
Just because you can.
Doesn't mean you should. Alright, but ladies and gentlemen, out of the Nightstars, I think the one to shine is going to be the 9P. I think because of the ballistic options and how strong ballistics are, especially in mass. 4 UAC 5s you can do on this. You can do the UAC 10s. You can do the AC. You can do dual heavy Gauss. You can do quad Gauss. You can... all those options. I really feel like the 9P is the one we're going to see. I definitely think the 9J with those armor bonuses plus heavy, energy, 6 energy and then 2 ballistic. I think we're going to see some nice combos there. I think heavy peeps, stuff like that. Yeah. If you're wanting a missile, close range, medium or long range, technically we have them all now, SRMs. Technically, you could actually go streaks on this. Hear me out, streaks and like heavy energy in the arms, like heavy peeps. You're gonna have to rely on friendlies. Well, no, you could go heavy peeps with some streaks for anti-lights or anything that comes in close, and just swat them when they come in, and then use the peeps at range to hit hard too. Now, keep in mind there is alterations coming for the Nightstar's arms. More info will be posted about that. But if you'd like to win one of these, make sure to enter hashtag Nightstar, and Darren will be kicking off in just a moment. Gonna go ahead and show off the cockpit item at said point in time. Here it is.
Indeed, and remember the 9P is now the Punisher variant.
Is that right? Is that what I did?
Dubbed by the Filmmeister. But yeah, hashtag Nightstar in chat right now. You did have a request there from...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and take a quick look at camo patterns really quick. Let me go ahead and do base colors just so people can see those, just where they're at. And do some Blue Angels here.
We'll do this giveaway in a few more seconds, guys. Hashtag Nightstar in chat right now. Do need to be following the channel in order to be eligible. Good luck, Mech Warriors. The cockpit item has the arms up. Mr. Edweird, yes, I did notice that. So will the mech shortly.
Soon.
I do like those colors. Reminds me of the good old LA Rams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back in my day.
Back in my day. No, I think they're the LA Rams again, so it's in your day.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's give this away for a Nightstar pack. The winner is... Mr. Edweird. It must have been your comment about the cockpit item. Congratulations, Edweird.
Oh, that's cool. It's got a bunch of skulls around the cockpit.
Skulls. Oh yeah, that is cool. Haven't seen that before. I like. Edward, you got about 30 seconds to let me know you're there. I know you are. You just made a comment.
Buccaneer. Got all the details. Showing them in red, white, and gunmetal just because it pops so you can see all the little details.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, let me go ahead and switch to camo colors really quick just so you guys can get an idea of what woodland. A little bit darker green here with a little bit. There we go.
Mr. Edweird, I whispered to you, whispering back with your pilot name, and I'll get you sorted out with your Nightstar pack. Congratulations again, and congratulations to all the other winners today. Keep in mind, guys, we will be doing the patch day stream tomorrow. As soon as the patch is up, there'll be more giveaways as well as some of the other regular streamers out there. We'll potentially be giving some of these mechs away as well. So be sure to be active in the MWO streams over the coming weeks, and you can win yourself some of these Civil War Escalation mechs.
All right, here we go to the Rosselhog first. Steiner. I like the checkered pattern. I wish that was. I like checkered pattern. I don't know why. It's the MechWarrior 2 on the calves of like the Timberwolf and Mad Dog. I like that. That's cool. It's got the dragon head coming down the center line. It's not as easy to see it in this because the angle, but it comes up from the back there and comes right down. And of course, then we got Davian.
All right, Mr. Edward already had the Nightstar pack, but we did upgrade that, so it's a full pack now. Congratulations, Mr. Edward. Enjoy your Nightstars tomorrow.
Polygon camo there. Right. Let me go ahead and save that. And go ahead and drop really quick, check out the animation. Don't you dare call my purple bacon colors ugly. I would never, sir. I would never. I would never. You can see a few things here. One, pretty open as far as the front viewport. Got a pretty good viewing. If you pull back your field of view, you'd be able to see a little bit more. I think the cockpit item, you can see the arms are more centralized. And I think, again, I'm not confirming because I don't know. I think that's what a lot of people desired, and that may be the change that's coming. So that's what the...
I did just get the confirmation that is indeed the change.
Right.
The arms will look like, yeah, they'll be raised straight out, just like the cockpit item.
So the first thing you're going to notice, or at least I did, is this is very, very similar to the king crab waddle. It's that info was passed on to me by Alexander Garden. Thank you, Alexander, for updating us. So for those of you that were concerned about the Nightstar arms, they will look just like the concept art, just like the cockpit item. They will be straight out from the cockpit. So it's got the waddle like the king crab.
Yes, it does. Shaking that ass. Yeah, I agree. It's not as pronounced of a waddle as the king crab, but there are some similarities.
I don't know. It's pretty.
Would have to side by side it.
I was like, what?
Boomstar.
Also, too, just for people tuning in, on testing grounds, you will be able to hit F5 and switch to free cam come tomorrow to get your own screenshots.
I'm very happy that that's going to be available for everyone.
So that is finally out tomorrow. At least that's what it said on the screen. They're like, no, Phil, it's not actually coming out. Well, it said it. I didn't. It wasn't me. I do think this is going to be pretty wicked.
Especially the Punisher variant.
Yeah, that's what I'm in right now.
Target.
Yeah. Boom! Mr. Edward, the arms are getting cheap. They'll be fixed tomorrow.
Critical.
Overgrown Ebon Jag. Well, it's pretty much a souped up Marauder. That's pretty much what it's the IS. This reminds me basically it's the Marauder. It's the IS version of the Marauder 2C. I mean, really, that's technically in
I
lore.
think the arms remind me of
yeah, I can see Ebon. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, legs of a king crab and the torso of a Marauder. slash Marauder 2C. Yeah. So, okay, so let's go to wrap up. Nightstar, it's here. I think the 10P is going to be the surprising one because of ballistic options. Again, I know that this mount, this torso mount for the ballistic and energy is going to be sort of controversial just because it's not symmetrical, and I know a lot of people would say, you know, it needs that height so it equals the one on the right. I'm going to give it some time in testing. I can understand from a play standpoint if I'm in the cockpit and I go to fire and if I'm hitting the dirt with the left but not the right, that'd be sort of frustrating. So that being said, I think it's something that we should watch out for, see if it really actually affects the performance. But with the arms being mounted and fixed where it's all horizontal line, that's going to be nice. It's going to be a lot like the Mark II and so forth. But yeah, I just out of all the 4 mechs, I'm really excited for the Arctic Wolf personally. That's the one mech. I know some of you guys out there are like, no, it's the Osiris, or oh, I'm excited for the Nova, or the Arctic Wolf. For me, it's the Arctic Wolf that
yeah, he's letting you know you're all wrong.
You're all wrong.
It's the Arctic Wolf.
Now, if you totally dig in the Nightstar, definitely check out the Punisher, as Darren has called it, the 9P. I think this is going to give you plenty of DACA options, and you're going to like it. There are other changes coming. There was just a post about the energy changes coming tomorrow. Again, it'll be interesting to see if what happens to the medium laser, ER medium, but also the small pulse, if the small pulse is going to make a return or not, as far as the primary weapon for like lights and stuff like that. But yeah, as we wrap up here, just want to say thank you again for coming out. Darren, thank you for hanging out, doing some giveaways. Hopefully you guys enjoyed those. And of course, if you are new to the channel, my name is Phil, and that is Darren. Make sure to give us a follow up above. We will be streaming tomorrow as well, same time, same place. If you missed the earlier stream, don't worry, we will get all these highlights up on YouTube straight away for you guys. Darren, any last words?